Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskatyam Naram Chaitam Narotayam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jana Uddayate Nasta Prayo Adbhashyu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhakti Bhavanti Nishtake. Text 24. I consider the demons who are inimical towards the Lord to be more than devotees, because while fighting with the Lord, absorbed in thoughts of the enmity, they are able to see the Lord carry on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Tarkasa, Kasyapa, and carrying the wheel weapon in his hand. Text 25. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, being prayed to by Brahma, to being well-fed to the earth, was begotten by Vasudeva in the womb of the wife Devaki in the prison of king of Boja. Text 26. Thereafter his father, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to the cow pasture of Maharaj Nanda, and there he lived for 11 years, like a covered flame, with his elderly brother Baldev. Text 27. In his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and thus he traveled on the shore of Yamuna River, through gardens densely covered with trees and filled with vibrance of chirping birds. Text 28. When the Lord displayed his activities just suitable for childhood, he was visible only by the residents of Vrindavan. Sometimes he would cry, sometimes he would laugh, just like a child, and while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub. Text 29. While herding the very beautiful bulls, the Lord, who was the reservoir of all opulence and fortune, used to blow his flute, and thus he enlived his faithful followers, the cowherd boys. Text 30. The great wizard who were able to assume any forms were engaged by the king of Bhoga, Kamsa, to kill Krishna, but in the course of his pastime, the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks a doll. Text 31. The inhabitants of Vrindavan were perplexed by the great difficulties because a certain portion of Yamuna was poisoned by the chief of the reptiles, Kali. The Lord chastised the snake king within the water and drove him away. And after coming out of the river, he caused the cows to drink the water and proved that the water was again in its natural state. Text 32. The Supreme Lord, Krishna, desired to utilize the opulent financial strength of Maharajananda to worship of the cows, and also he wanted to give a lesson to Indra, the king of the heaven. Thus he advised his father to perform worship of go, or the pasturing land and the cows, with the help of learned brahmanas. Text 33. O sober Vidura, King Indra, his honor having been insulted, poured water increasingly on the Vrindavan, and thus the inhabitants of Vraj, the land of the cows, were greatly distressed. But the compassionate Lord saved them from danger with the pastime umbrella of the Govardhan Hill. Text 34. In the third season of the year, the Lord enjoyed as the currently beauty of assembly of the woman by attracting them with his pleasuring sound in the autumn night, brightening by the moonshine. Hare Krishna. Center beauty. Sorry. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
One second. Thank you so much, Mate. Hare Krishna. So, one second. Hare Krishna everyone. So let me offer my prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachata Destarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Prabhu Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, it's a wonderful section we are in. Like the overall context of the section, we know Vidura met Uddhava. So, and Vidura inquired in the earlier verses how he was asking about Krishna and Balaram themselves. How are they doing? And then how are the different Yadus doing? Like that, he asked a bunch of questions to Uddhava when he met him. However, Uddhava was already in feeling lot of separation for Krishna and remembered Krishna when he asked about Krishna Katha. So Uddhava went into ecstasy for some time and he came back to external consciousness. And then initially he described a different pastimes of the Supreme Lord Krishna in a random fashion. And then later on, he started to describe from the appearance of the Lord. So that's the section we are in, where he's starting to describe from the appearance of the Lord. And interestingly, the main aspect that Vidura asked Uddhava was indirectly about the disappearance of the Lord. But devotees don't like to talk about disappearance of Lord so much because it invokes the feelings of separation, especially for pure devotees like Uddhava. So that is why he started with the appearance pastime and different other pastimes of the Lord, like that is described. So, so there's one verse, 24th verse, before it transition to the next verse, where that verse is part of the previous section, where Supreme Lord Krishna's merciful nature is being glorified in this section. Like you might remember yesterday, the beautiful verse was there in 23rd verse, which is also reading verse Gopijan Priya Mataji indicated. So that was where Putana, even though she came with the intention of killing Lord Krishna by putting poison to her breast and trying to feed Krishna the poison, but Krishna did not see neither bad intention of Putana nor bad action of Putana to kill Krishna. Even then, he gave mercy to her by giving her position of mother in spiritual world. So, generally, we hear Krishna as a Bhavagrahi Janardana. That means he sees the intention more than the action, like that. That point is shared to indicate that our consciousness in doing service to Krishna is very important, like that. Not just the physical action with hands and legs. But in this case, we see merciful nature of Krishna. That is, even the intention is bad. He is trying to see how I can benefit him, benefit this soul. In this case, is Putana, like that. So that is the merciful nature of Krishna we were discussing yesterday. Continuing with that theme, and the 24th verse, uh, actually, Uddhava is in is in is showing his state of humility through this verse, and also is we should not take it as a statement that's a truthful statement that we should follow, like that. The statement, what is the statement? He's saying, Uddhava is saying, I consider the demons to be more than the devotees. That's not a true statement in a true sense, but is coming in a particular mood and context we'll discuss. I consider the demons to be more than devotees because while fighting the Lord, they're absorbed in thoughts in enmity, absorbed in thoughts of Krishna in enmity, and that one, and they're able to see the Lord carried by Garuda and carrying the Sudarshan Chakra, like that. So two things is describing. One is, oh my God, the demons are also so absorbed in Krishna's thought, even though they're having envious feelings and feeling of enmity. I'm not so absorbed in Krishna like them. Like that, Uddhava is feeling a humble nature, humility towards himself. This is the nature of elevated Vaishnavas who are Uttama Bhagavatas. So that is one aspect. Second thing is, he's also feeling, oh, these demons are so fortunate. They're able to see Lord face to face before they go away from this planet, before they pass away from this planet. I may not be so fortunate. Like that, Uddhava is thinking. Generally, we may think, wow, I'm able to read this. I'm so fortunate. I'm so great. I'm able to do this service for the Lord. I'm so great. Like that, we may think. But as the devotion increases, somebody will understand whatever little I'm doing is by mercy of Krishna, and that little is also so so little for Krishna, because Krishna is self-satisfied like that. So in that sense, devotee feels I'm not a great accomplisher like that. He feels his mercy of Krishna that I'm able to do some service like that. And he also sees others as, wow, they have so much service mood. They're able to do so much service like that. That's the nature we as practicing devotees also cultivate. That's what is being shown through this verse here. Though that is why Srimad Bhagavatam is such a wonderful literature. We get access to the heart of the devotees like Uddhava, pure devotees. Then we can also understand and to try to follow, not imitate, but try to follow. So of course, following sometimes initially seems to be very awkward because they're so high platform. We are not naturally humble, so it feels awkward. Anything starting new, we may be doing. But still, as we practice in the right consciousness, not to show off, not to show off. Oh, see, I'm so humble. That's not the purpose of doing that. Purpose is to cultivate that consciousness. Then we can also grow like pure, grow to the grow in devotion like the pure devotees like that. So in this purport, uh, Prabhupada is making some wonderful points, even though short purport. One is saying the Krishna is giving salvation to the demons also by showing himself face to face and by giving them a higher destination of merging with the Brahma Jyoti, for example. Sometimes giving them spiritual world, residence in spiritual world also, not just Brahma Jyoti merging, is only because of the causeless mercy of Krishna, not because the demons did something great like that. Number one point is making. So second thing is, any way we can come in contact with Krishna, either with holy name or with the deity form of the Lord, or by hearing about Lord from Bhagavad Gita instructions, or by hearing about Krishna through Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyway, we come in touch with Krishna, because Krishna is all pure, we also get purified. That's the other point Prabhupada is making. So when the demons got in touch with Krishna somehow, even through enmity, they got purified and they got the benefit of salvation given by Krishna. That is due to the excellence of Krishna and due to the causeless mercy of Krishna. So that is another merciful nature of Krishna, is even helping enemies also. Not that, see, you blaspheme me, so I will doom you to hell eternally. Not like that. He wants to benefit every living entity, irrespective of their disposition also. So that's the other point Prabhupada is making here. And then other point Prabhupada is also making is, somebody may think, wow, demons are better than devotees. Uddhava, pure devotee is telling. So let us try to develop envious attitude. So that's not a right conclusion to take. Prabhupada is clarifying the demons are nowhere close to pure devotees who are serving Krishna in a favorable mood like that. So they can never be equal to them. Uddhava is just saying like this because of his feelings of separation like that. We hear a similar message in the 10th canto when we get to Kamsa also. So the problem is, Kamsa, Shishpala, these demons had so much enmity to Krishna that they were so absorbed in Krishna. But people like us, even if we cultivate hatred towards Krishna, we cannot go to such an high extent. And if we cannot go to such an extent, we'll go to hell instead. So that's why it's not a good practice, number one. Number two, our acharyas gave us the path of bhakti that indicates anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. So, and also anyavilashuta shunyam gnanakarmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanusilanam. Anukulyena. favorable. We need to do devotion service in a way that is favorable to Krishna, favorable to please Krishna. That's a central part, are the primary characteristics of devotion service as defined by our Rupa Goswami also, in Nectar of Devotion or Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. So we cultivate the favorable mood of Krishna consciousness, not the demoniac attitude towards Krishna. That's another lesson Prabhupada is giving here. Um, and then Prabhupada is also sharing that Krishna is given liberation to demons. But for pure devotees, he's just not giving liberation, he's giving the opportunity to associate personally with him in spiritual world. So, to devotees, Lord is reciprocating hundreds and thousands of times more than what he spoke with demons, like that also, Prabhupada is indicating in the purport. So that is a great fortune. Then, another point Prabhupada makes in the purport, remember the verse itself is talking about the demons, how they might get salvation also. Prabhupada is saying, even impersonalists, that means those who do not believe in the personal form of the Lord, they are also given higher benediction of salvation. But what? Whatever demons get, which is merging into Brahmajyoti only. They don't get more than that. That means is comparing. So such as lower platform of benefit they are getting like that, even impersonalists like that, Prabhupada is comparing in the purport. Now transitioning to the next section. Now Uddhava starts to describe the past tense of Krishna systematically. Of course, we know Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto has the main topic of Ashraya, of shelter, which is describing glorious, wonderful, beautiful, sweet past tense of Krishna. So this is, were getting a flavor of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam now itself through the mercy of Uddhava and Vidura conversation for us. So when devotees talk, they don't talk about some normal business. They talk about Krishna Katha. That's why when we hear the topics of pure devotee discussion, we're able to get benefited by hearing Krishna Katha through that exchange between them. Now going to the 25th verse. He starts with the appearance. He says, Lord Krishna, he appeared due to prayers of Lord Brahma, who prayed for the welfare of earth, because earth was overburdened with the demoniac kings, demonic personalities. And then by Brahma's prayers, Lord Krishna appeared here. And how did he appear? He appeared in the prison cell of Kamsa to Vasudeva and Devaki, like that is describing. So, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Lord's pastimes of appearance or disappearance are non-different. That means we also hear Vaishnava's appearance and disappearance both are auspicious like that. Similarly, Prabhupada is indicating that there's no difference between past tense appearance and disappearance. But devotees generally don't talk about disappearance like that. That's why Uddhava started with appearance pastime itself here. Now, other point is Krishna appeared for the welfare of all the people in the universe by the plea of the pure devotee Lord Brahma. That's why he came, like that Prabhupada is indicating. Now, going to 26th verse, what did Krishna do after he is born, after he appeared? He says, his father, Krishna's father, Vasudeva, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to cow pastures of Nanda Maharaj. And there he lived for 11 years like a covered flame with his elder brother Baladeva. So Prabhupada is highlighting few things in the purport. One of the beautiful things Prabhupada is highlighting is how Nanda Maharaja is in Vatsalya Rasa, or parental attitude towards Krishna. And that's why Krishna is reciprocating with his parental attitude. What is the parental attitude? Father and mother are always thinking, oh, is my child okay? How can I make sure he's okay? Like that. So in that mood, here Nanda Maharaj is in a protective attitude towards his son Krishna. He wants to make sure his son is safe, is not affected or not killed by Kamsa like that. So he's giving opportunity. Oh, see, I'm protecting my son like that. He's giving that pleasure to him like that. So like that is exchanging in a love with his father, role of a father that Nanda Maharaj is playing, in this pastime. That's a point Prabhupada is making like that. And Krishna not only gives giving pleasure to Nanda Maharaj like that, Krishna actually is enjoying this pastime also. Because uh, when Krishna tries to be in subordinate position to his devotees, and when his devotees take the superior position, he loves it like that. Prabhupada is indicating here. Of course, here it is in love, highest love. We cannot imitate that and say, "Oh Krishna, now I chastise you because you did not give me this, you did not give me that." That is not a right attitude. We cultivate. This is the highest loving exchanges in Vatsalya Rasa that Prabhupada is indicating here. So he was Krishna was trying to fulfill everyone's desire. And what desire? That he wants to give the opportunity for Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai to experience the childhood pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan. That is also another reason he's letting Vasudeva take him to Vrindavan, like that Prabhupada is indicating in the purport. So then, yeah, and Prabhupada is making another point that Krishna is doing it for his own enjoyment and for his devotee enjoyment, but not because he's fearful of Kamsa, like that. That's the other point Prabhupada is making in the purport. Now going to text 27, Krishna in his childhood was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and he traveled on the shore of the Yamuna river, which had gardens densely covered with trees and filled with vibrations of chirping birds, was he saying. Prabhupada is elaborating nicely. In the first paragraph, he talks about how Nanda Maharaj was a landholder with so much land, owning so much land, agricultural land, pasturing lands, and also he had so many thousands of cows so that he can give protection to them. Prabhupada writes in the purport that that is a duty of Vaishyas to give protection to cows. We know from Bhagavad Gita also, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam. Those are the three main activities of Vaishyas. Krishi means agriculture, Goraksha means cow protection, and Vanijyam means business or trade. So that's what Nanda Maharaj was engaging in. That's why cowherd Krishna was taking care of calves, trained in taking care of calves in the childhood days. So at that time, he was playing with the cowherd boys and these calves, and even the trees of Vrindavan, even the birds of Vrindavan, the animals of Vrindavan. They're all pious living entities, great sages and yogis from the past lives, it seems. That's what Prabhupada is highlighting for us. So that's why they are able to gain association of Krishna. Of course, there are some of these maybe eternal associates of Krishna also. The two aspects here. Now, Prabhupada also describes the wonderful atmosphere on the shore of Yamuna. The beautiful gardens are there, which are filled with nice fruit trees, it seems, nice flower trees. Prabhupada gives some example of fruit trees there. Mango trees, jackfruit trees, apple trees, guava trees, orange trees, grape trees, berries, palm fruits, like that, and fragrant flowers. We hear from Srimad Bhagavatam purports, the Prabhupada saying that at a pious place, there are pious trees which gives fruits and flowers. Generally, we see trees that don't give neither fruits nor flowers are not so pious. Prabhupada indicates in some other purports. Here we see how Vrindavan was a beautiful place with all these pious living entities coming in the form of trees, and even there are different birds described like ducks, cranes, and peacocks. It seems that are on the branches of trees like that. They're all pious living entities who have great fortune to associate with Krishna, serve Krishna, to please Krishna with their offerings to Krishna, like that. Now, Prabhupada also writes in the purport, he's going ahead because to next few verses, he's saying in the purport that while playing like a small child, he killed so many demons like Agasura, Bakasura, Pralambasura, Gardhabasura. That's a new word I heard. Gardhabasura is another name for Dhenukasura. So that's what I saw. Of course, there is another verse where Dhenukasura is also mentioned, Gardhabasura also mentioned. I don't know why, but essentially I looked up Veda base and saw that Dhenukasura is also referred as Gardhabasura sometimes in several sections in Srimad Bhagavatam. So he was, and Prabhupada's reason he's talking about this is, in the verse, there's a description that Krishna was like a covered flame. That is explaining. What is that description? He's saying that fire can consume lot of fuel. It will burn everything into ashes like that. Similarly, Krishna, even though like appearing like a small child, like a fire, he killed all those great demons who came to Vrindavan. He's saying that's what Prabhupada is describing. That's why he's referred as covered flame like that. That means he has the so much potency to burn away everything like that. In the sense, so much potency to kill the demons also. And another beautiful point Prabhupada makes in the purport, towards the end of the purport, is that Lord Chaitanya recommended that Vrindavan land is identical with the Supreme Lord Krishna. That's why it's worshipable for all the devotees. So because we follow Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is none other than Krishna himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani, that's why we also consider and accept Vrindavan as non-different from Krishna. That's why devotees have so much affection and interest in staying in Vrindavan, interesting in thinking about Vrindavan, interested in hearing about Vrindavan, interested in hearing about pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan like that. That's another beautiful point Prabhupada is making, especially as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. This is an important thing Prabhupada makes the point in the purport. Now going to 28th verse. When the Lord displayed these activities just suitable for childhood, not these activities like playing with Gopa friends, playing with Gopi friends, like that. He was visible only to the residents of Vrindavana. That means that opportunity to see beautiful childhood pastimes were there for Vrindavana Vasis. And then he would cry sometimes and laugh sometimes, as a child would do. And while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub, like that is describing. So Prabhupada elaborates beautifully these points in the purport. He's making the point that if somebody wants to enjoy the childhood pastimes of Krishna, they need to worship Krishna in the mood of Rajvasis. Of course, that is the highest stage, Raganuga Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. We can get to that. So that's one point Prabhupada is making. So second point Prabhupada is making is these pastimes of Vrindavan are not appreciated by impersonalist worshippers because they don't believe in the form of Krishna. So they cannot have appreciation for this like that. And another point is making is the verse is described how Krishna sometimes used to cry, sometimes used to laugh like small child. Like that, Prabhupada is elaborating on that. Sometimes children, for a small thing, for a chocolate or for a small thing that we don't do, we don't give them particular dress they want to wear. They'll cry a lot and lot and lot. But the moment we give them, they're so happy and they laugh immediately like that. Like that, Krishna gave that pleasure of a small child to a parent, how it's pleasurable to them. Similarly, he gives the pleasure to Rajvasis like that. And also Prabhupada makes a point. This pleasure was not just to Nanda Maharaj and Sudha Mataji. All the other elderly parents, elderly women and men in Vrindavan also, they also had the parental attitude towards Krishna and they also enjoyed these pastimes like that. Prabhupada is writing in purport. And yeah, he was the life and soul of everyone, including the animals, cows and calves. Prabhupada is writing in purport also. Now, the lion cub analogy will come into place in the next coming verses. But Prabhupada is saying here that when the demons came, even though he was acting like a small child, crying and laughing, when the demons come, he used to kill them, like how a small lion cub will take care of anything like that. Like that, Prabhupada is elaborating on that point, why he is being referred as a lion cub here. Now, 29th verse. So, when Krishna became a little bit older, 6 and 7 years old, Prabhupada writes in the purport, he was given in charge of taking care of cows also. Cows and bulls in the grazing grounds, Prabhupada writes in the purport. Then, while herding them, these cows and bulls in the pasturing grounds, Krishna used to play his flute, it seems. And he enlivened his faithful followers by playing these flutes, the cowherd boys. He gave pleasure to Gopa friends like that by playing his flute, not only to the cows, but also to Gopa friends also by playing his flute like that. Prabhupada is writing the verses talking about. Prabhupada is talking about importance of cow production in the purport. Specifically, he's talking about how cows are like mothers because we drink their milk, and bulls are like fathers because like how fathers earn money to take care of our needs. Similarly, the bulls till the land in the agriculture land for farming. So that's how they're helping us to grow the crop grains so that we can eat, so we can sustain, live like that. So that's why, especially the mercantile community, Krishna is showing, because he's born in Vaishya family in the circumstance of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mataji. He's showing by an example that Vaishyas need to give protection to the cows and bulls like that. So that's what he's showing by example. Prabhupada is underscoring for our benefit also. And the whole place was beautiful because of different colors of beautiful cows. Cows and bulls that are there. Is Prabhupada is writing in the purport. They're red color, green color, black color, yellow color, ash color, it seems. And some of them have checks, like we have shirts that are plain shirts. Plains are checks like that, right? Like that, they're beautiful, it seems, with beautiful colors and healthy, smiling features, it seems. And the atmosphere was very enlivening. That's one theme Prabhupada touches in the purport. And the theme Prabhupada touches in the purport is how his Gopa friends were so fortunate that they could hear the transcendental flute of Krishna, and they were enlivened by the flute of Krishna. And this fortune is not there for impersonalists like that, Prabhupada writes in the purport. Going to 30th verse, and while he was growing up like this, taking care of the cows, taking care of the calves, playing with, enjoying with his cowherd friends, Kamsa used to send some demons, different kinds of demons, to kill Krishna. And Lord Krishna killed them like how ordinary children, they play with elephant toy, lion toy, tiger toy, but they, in the course of playing, they just break it like a simple doll like that. Like that, Krishna was so powerful, it was not difficult for him. Like a simple child breaks a toy, he killed all the demons like that. Prabhupada clarifying the purport, explaining that in the purport like that. So the point Prabhupada making with this is, Krishna is all powerful, no matter what form he is in, child form or adult form, doesn't matter. He's all powerful, all knowing, and no one can become equal to him or superior to him. He's Apsamurdva, is always superior to anybody. Even any demon cannot come close to him, like that is describing. And his Lord is the Lord in every stage of life, whether it's childhood, pastimes is making, doesn't matter. He's Supreme Lord always like that. Going to 31st verse, is describing about Govardhan Lila. When, not Kaliya Lila, when Kaliya snake took shelter of a pond within Yamuna river, that time, pond or lake in Yamuna river, that time Krishna fighted with Kaliya, drove the Kaliya away, and he made the water pure again. That means no poison is there anymore. So that way, he proved it by asking cows to drink the water also, like that this verse is talking about. So then uh, Uddhava goes out to 32 verse, where he's describing, this is interesting. Krishna want to utilize the opulence or money of Nanda Maharaj to worship cows. That is the reason, and to teach a lesson to Indra. These two reasons, he orchestrated the whole Govardhan Lila pastime is describing in this verse. So Prabhupada is indicating wonderful lessons also for this, from this verse for us. What was I liked is, Krishna wanted to worship the cows. Krishna wanted to show that cows are worshipable, especially for Vaishyas here. That is the example is setting. So that's why he orchestrated the pastime. Of course, there are many reasons Krishna does many things. So this is one of the main things. So other thing Prabhupada is highlighting is, Krishna want to show by the example that we don't need to worship demigods when we are worshipping Supreme Lord already. That means Prabhupada is also careful to say that we should not condemn demigod worship. If somebody is only worshipping demigod worship, that is better than worshipping nobody. That's better than being an atheist with no acceptance of superior power. But if somebody worshipping at least demigods, that is very good. Like that, Prabhupada is emphasizing the purport. But even better than that is somebody worshipping Vishnu, Narayana, Krishna, Rama, Narasimhadev, like any of the Vishnu Tattva forms of the Lord. Then they can get all the benefits that they get by worshipping any other demigods, any other devatas also. Like that, Prabhupada is emphasizing in the purport. That's what Krishna wanted to show with this example. That if you take care of worshipping Krishna, Supreme Lord, in any of the Vishnu forms, then you don't need to worry about worshipping demigods. You can get all the benefits by worshipping Supreme Lord directly. And then that's the main point Prabhupada is making in the purport. And another point is making is that Vaishyas are to give protection to the cows. Like that, Prabhupada is making in the purport also. Now going to the 33rd verse, last two verses for the day. 33rd verse, of course, another point is Prabhupada doesn't dwell much on it, but he goes little bit into it, that Indra became suddenly proud. Why? Because he forgot his position as servant of Krishna. He became proud. So Krishna is teaching a lesson to Indra also through this pastime. So now going to the next verse, Lord Krishna, uh, when Indra was insulted like this, Indra threw lots of water, lots of rain, torrents of rain coming. Then Krishna lifted Govardhan Giri with his left hand and protected all the Vrajavasis like that. That includes human beings or animals also like that. Now text 34. This is concluding verse of this chapter for the today's verse also. In the Sharad season or autumn season, Krishna enjoyed with the gopis in the Rasalila pastimes as a central figure, and by attracting them with his pleasant songs done with the flute, it seems. And it's Sharad Purnima, that's also described. Moonshine is brilliantly coming. That's his Sharad Purnima. That means full moon day. That time he enjoyed his Rasalila pastimes with gopis also. So this chapter ends with Uddhava recounting the pastimes of Krishna briefly, what he did in Vrindavan. So this is just a trailer for us, so that we can eagerly look forward to the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where beautiful pastimes are there with Krishna. So next chapter, you can look forward to next chapter, where Uddhava describes the pastimes of Krishna outside Vrindavan, specifically after he goes to Madura, and then after he goes to Dwaraka also. So we'll pause here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's offer obeisance to all the devotees of the Lord. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kupasindubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much, devotees, for your association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.